My name's Lena. My brother called one evening, voice cracking like he was still 16, asking for a place to crash, just for a month, he said, until he got back on his feet. I hesitated, but blood runs thick, doesn't it? So I said yes. What I didn't expect was the stranger he brought with him a friend. He called her, sharp-eyed and sharper-tongued. By the end of the month, my home wasn't mine anymore. My keys were borrowed, my savings were loaned, and my name was on papers I never signed. They called me the reliable one, then used it to unravel everything I'd built. So I did what they never saw coming. I took it all back, but what still haunts me? Not what they stole, but how they thought I'd just let it slide. Would you have stayed? The air in my loft carried the faint scent of cedar and fresh ink. That morning, sunlight spilled through the skylight, pooling on the hardwood floor in soft, warm patches. I stood in my kitchen, barefoot, stirring honey into my tea, the spoon clinking softly against the mug. For a moment, everything felt right. After years of scraping by, sharing apartments with roommates who left dishes in the sink, this place, this quiet, was mine. Every shelf, every plant, every carefully chosen throw pillow. I'd earned it. I took a sip, leaned against the counter, and exhaled. No rush, no tension, just me. Then my phone vibrated. "Hey, Lena." My brother Theo's voice came through, low and shaky. "I'm in a bind. Can I stay with you, just for a bit, till I figure things out?" My chest tightened, not because he asked, but because I knew Theo's bit could stretch like taffy. Still, I pictured him at 10, gap-toothed, trailing me around the neighborhood. "Just you?" I asked, already dreading the answer. He laughed, too quick. Yeah, just me. Promise." I glanced around my loft. The open space, the books stacked neatly on the coffee table, the guest nook with its folded blanket. My mistake was thinking it'd stay that way. "Okay," I said. "A month, Theo." 2 days later, the buzzer sounded. I was mid-sketch, charcoal smudging my fingers, hair tied back in a messy bun. I wiped my hands on my jeans and checked the intercom. Theo stood there, backpack slung over one shoulder, but he wasn't alone. A woman with cropped hair and a leather jacket stood beside him, a duffel at her feet, scrolling her phone like she was already bored. I opened the door, my stomach sinking. Theo grinned. "Lena, meet Cass. She's cool. Just needs a place for a bit too." He stepped inside before I could respond, Cass trailing him like she'd been invited. "Nice spot," she said, dropping her bag by my couch. "Real artsy." Theo kissed my cheek, oblivious to my frozen expression. "Thanks, sis. You're the best." I stood in the doorway, one hand still on the knob, as Cass kicked off her boots and flopped onto my couch, pulling out her phone again. Theo was already in the kitchen, opening my fridge. "You got any beer?" he called. I didn't answer. I just closed the door, the click louder than it should have been. That afternoon, I told myself it was fine, temporary. Theo was family, and Cass was, what? His friend? His girlfriend? He didn't clarify, and I didn't ask. I tried to focus on my freelance work, sketching logos at my desk while Cass's music blared from her phone. Theo sprawled on the floor, scrolling through job listings he didn't apply to. By dinner, Cass had ordered takeout on my app with my card. "Hope you don't mind," she said, not looking up. "We'll pay you back." Theo nodded. Yeah. Soon as I get a gig, I stared at the receipt on my phone. 47.82. I didn't say anything. I just ate my share in silence. That night, I lay in bed, staring at the exposed beams above. The loft felt smaller, the air thicker. I could hear Cass's laughter through the wall, Theo's low mumble. The guest nook wasn't meant for two. I hadn't agreed to two, but I hadn't said no either. That was my first mistake. By the third day, the loft was different. Not just the mess empty cans on the counter, a wet towel on my armchair, but the vibe. My space, my rhythm was gone. Cass left dishes in the sink, used my shampoo without asking, and borrowed my scarf because it matched her vibe. Theo was no better. He'd taken over my TV, streaming shows I didn't watch, leaving popcorn kernels on the rug. I found my sketchbook moved, pages bent, a coffee ring on the cover. Sorry, he said when I pointed it out. Didn't realize it was important. Cass smirked. It's just a notebook, right? I started locking my bedroom door when I left for client meetings. I hid my laptop in a drawer. I stopped leaving cash on the counter, but it wasn't enough. By the second week, I noticed my mail was opened bills, bank statements, even a birthday card from my aunt with a 20 bill that wasn't there anymore. You sure it came with cash? Theo asked, scratching his neck. Cass shrugged. Mail gets lost sometimes. I didn't argue. I just started forwarding my mail to a P.O. box. One night, I came home late from a gallery event. The loft smelled like weed and burnt toast. Cass was on the couch, feet on my coffee table, scrolling through my Netflix account. Theo was in the kitchen, eating cereal from my bowl. I stood in the doorway, keys in hand, and something snapped. Not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet fracture. This isn't working, I said. Theo looked up, milk dripping from his chin. What? Cass didn't even glance my way. I took a breath. You're taking over my space. I didn't sign up for this. Theo set the bowl down. Come on, Lena. It's just a rough patch. We're family. Cass finally looked up, eyes narrowing. You're acting like we're stealing your soul. Chill. I didn't chill. I went to my room, closed the door, and opened my laptop. I started a list. What I pay for. Rent, utilities, internet, groceries, streaming. Every item felt like a brick in a wall I was rebuilding. I didn't sleep that night. I sat at my desk, staring at the list, the numbers adding up to more than money. The next morning, I found my spare key missing from the hook by the door. I asked Theo about it. He shrugged. Haven't seen it. Cass was in the shower, using my hot water, my soap. I checked my bag, my drawers, even the couch cushions. Nothing. That afternoon, I came home to find the front door unlocked, my desk drawer open, and my checkbook gone. I called Theo. Where's my checkbook? He paused too long. I don't know, Lena. Maybe you misplaced it. I hung up and called the bank, froze my account, ordered new checks, changed my passwords. When I confronted Cass later, she rolled her eyes. You're paranoid. Nobody's touching your stuff, but they were. I knew it. I just didn't have proof. Not yet. By the third week, I was a stranger in my own home. My plants were wilting. Cass said they were too much work. My favorite mug was chipped, left in the sink with tea stains. My art supplies were scattered, some missing. I found a receipt on the counter for a $200 withdrawal from my account, time-stamped when I was at a meeting across town. I held it up when Theo walked in. "Explain this." He blinked, then laughed. "Must be a mistake. I'll check with the bank," Cass chimed in from the couch. "You're so uptight, Lena. It's just money." That night, I installed a lock on my closet. I moved my important documents, lease, passport, tax returns, into a safe I bought from a hardware store. I started taking photos of everything. The loft, the mess, the receipts. I backed them up to a cloud drive. I didn't know what I was preparing for, but I knew I wasn't imagining things. Then I found the paperwork. It was tucked in Theo's backpack, left unzipped by the couch. A loan application, my name listed as co-signer, my address, my social security number, the amount, 15,000. I sat on the floor, the paper shaking in my hands. They hadn't just taken my space, my money. They were trying to take my future. I scanned the document, saved it, and slipped it back where I found it. I didn't confront them. Not yet. Instead, I called a lawyer. Quietly, she told me to document everything. "Get proof," she said. "Then act." So I did. I bought a small camera, motion activated, and hid it in a plant pot by the skylight. It caught Cass using my laptop late at night, typing furiously. It caught Theo on the phone, saying, "She won't notice. She's too busy playing artist." It caught them laughing over a pizza they ordered with my card, joking about how easy I was. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I planned. By the 4th week, my loft was a crime scene I was cataloging. Every night, I added to my evidence folder screenshots of bank transactions, photos of opened mail, videos from the camera. I met with the lawyer again. She drafted a cease and desist letter for the loan application, citing fraud. I didn't send it, not yet. I wanted them to think I was still the reliable one, the pushover. One morning, I woke to find my front door repainted. Not the whole door, just a stripe of red across the handle, like a mark. Cass said it was art. Theo laughed it off. "It's just paint, Lena." But it wasn't. It was a claim, a warning. I took a photo, added it to the folder. That afternoon, I came home to find my easel gone. Not misplaced gone. My canvases, the ones I'd been prepping for a gallery show, were stacked in the corner, one torn. I asked Theo. He shrugged. Cass needed space for her yoga. Cass smirked from the couch. "You weren't using them, right?" I didn't answer. I just picked up the torn canvas, carried it to my room, and locked the door. That night, I booked a storage unit. I started packing. Not everything, just what mattered. My art, my journals, my dad's old watch, the quilt my grandmother made. I moved boxes at night, when they were asleep or out. I didn't tell anyone, not even my best friend, who'd warned me about Theo years ago. I worked alone. The next day, I found a note on my fridge. "Lena, we need to talk about rent." It was Cass's handwriting. I laughed, sharp and bitter. Rent, they hadn't paid a dime. I left the note there, took a photo, and kept packing. By Friday, I was ready. The lawyer had everything: documents, videos, photos. She'd filed a police report for identity theft and fraud. I'd transferred my lease to a new tenant, a quiet grad student who'd move in next week. I'd sold what I didn't need. The loft was half empty, but they didn't notice. They were too busy living off my life. Saturday morning, I made coffee for the last time in that kitchen. Theo was still asleep. Cass was in the shower, singing off-key. I left an envelope on the counter, addressed to Theo. Inside, a copy of the police report, the cease and desist letter, and a notice to vacate. I didn't sign it. I didn't need to. I carried the last box to my car. The movers would handle the rest. As I drove away, the loft shrank in my rearview mirror, a shell of what it used to be. I didn't look back. I settled in a small house on the edge of town, a rental with a porch and a view of the hills. The first morning, I woke to birds, not Theo's snoring or Cass's music. I made tea, sat outside, and listened to the wind. My new space was bare, just a mattress, a folding chair, my art supplies. But it was mine. A week later, I got a text from Theo. "What the hell, Lena? You can't just kick us out." I didn't respond. The police report was public now. Cass had been questioned. Theo was named as an accomplice. I didn't need to explain myself. I hung my first canvas in the new house, a painting I'd started months ago but never finished. It was abstract, all blues and grays, like a storm breaking. I stepped back, looked at it, and smiled. Not because it was perfect, but because it was mine. I got an email from my lawyer a month later. The loan application was voided. Cass and Theo were facing charges. My name was clear. I didn't celebrate. I just kept painting. Sometimes I think about Theo, about the kid he used to be. I think about the stories we told each other, the promises we made. But promises break, and blood isn't enough. I chose myself, and that was enough. Now, I walk to the local market on weekends. I buy fresh bread, talk to the vendors, smile at strangers. I plant herbs in pots on my porch. I sleep through the night. My home smells like cedar again, and the air is light. I lost a brother, but I found myself. And that's everything. What about you? Have you ever had to cut ties with someone who called you family, but treated you like a means to an end? If this story hit home, share your thoughts below. Like, comment, and subscribe for more stories about reclaiming what's yours quietly, fiercely, unapologetically. I didn't just leave Theo and Cass in the dust. I made sure they'd never forget me. A week after I moved to my new house, I got a call from the loft's new tenant, Mia, the grad student. She'd found a box of Theo's stuff in the storage closet, mostly old band t-shirts, and a Bluetooth speaker that still reeked of his cheap cologne. I told her to donate it, but then I had a better idea. I drove back, picked up the box, and turned it into a masterpiece of petty revenge. I mailed Theo's speaker to a prank service that specializes in glitter bombs, you know, the kind that explode with sparkly chaos and take weeks to clean. I paid extra to have it rigged with a motion sensor that blared "You're welcome" from Moana every time someone walked by. The return address? A fake one labeled Lena's Karma Delivery. I got a video from Mia a few days later, Theo opening the package in the loft's lobby, glitter erupting like a volcano, the speaker screeching while Cass screamed about her leather jacket getting ruined. Mia said Theo spent an hour vacuuming the lobby, muttering about Lena's crazy ass. I watched the clip on loop, sipping tea, laughing until my sides hurt, but I wasn't done. I'd noticed Cass's art Instagram, where she posted grainy photos of her yoga poses, trying to brand herself as a wellness guru. So, I created a burner account, Zen Glitter Guru, and commented on every post. Loving the vibes. Did you ever clean the glitter out of your loft? Her followers started asking questions. Her engagement tanked. Last I checked, she'd gone private. Theo tried texting me again, begging for an apology. You didn't have to go that far, Lena. I replied with a single emoji, a sparkling star. Then I blocked him. The police wrapped up their case. Theo got community service. Cass got a fine. My name stayed clear. My house stayed mine. And my plants? Thriving. I hung a new painting in my hallway. A glittery abstract I called Karma's Canvas. Every time I walk by, I smile. Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a glitter bomb and a song that won't shut up. This is FunnyFun Revenge Story Channel, where we serve justice with a side of laughs. If Lena's glittery payback made you cackle, smash that like button, drop a comment,